Dear friends, we continue to present the provinces of Greater Romania. The province we are now in was colonized 2,500 years ago by Greeks from antiquity. 2,000 years ago, there were tribes of Getodaci, and then Romanians conquered this province and called it Scythia Minor. We call it today Dobrogea, a Turkish word that seems to have been a Slavic name at origin. Anyway it would have been called, Dobrogea is today's province in Romania, which has historically experienced several and various conquests. Today, when we go to our holidays on the seaside, we rarely realize how dramatic the past of these places was, and in World War I, Dobrogea is the first Romanian region the enemy occupied in October 1916, and the statue behind me was about to be set down. After Greeks, Dacians, Romanians, Byzantines, and Bulgarians, toward the end of 14th century, Dobrogea soon enters the sphere of interest of the Romanian country led by Mircea cel Bătrân. At the beginning of the 15th century, another prominent power emerged in the area, the Ottoman Empire. In 1878, following the Peace Treaty of Berlin, the newly independent Romania was taking back Dobrogea, having to give in exchange the southern Bessarabian counties. Even before 1878, Dobrogea was yearly visited by a relatively large number of Romanians. We're talking about the Romanian shepherds on the left side of the Danube or from Transylvania, who came from a distance by ship from transhumance to the shore of the sea, attracted by the grass here. Today, in European restaurants, lamb from New Zealand or Argentinian beef are considered to be valued and expensive delicacies. Nevertheless, the Romanian shepherds from hundreds of years ago knew something we seem to have forgotten. The salty air of the Black Sea gives the grass a special taste, which is why the lamb and cheese from Dobrogea have a special taste. With little effort, Dobrogea could rival gastronomically the New Zealander or the Argentinian coastline. At the end of the 19th century, Dobrogea became a topic of conflict between Romania and Bulgaria. Both states wanted to expand their own piece of Dobrogea. After the Second Balkan War in 1913, in which Bulgaria was defeated, Romania occupied part of southern Dobrogea. That made Bulgarians attack in late August 1916, just a week after our entry into the First World War. Held by the Germans and the Turks, the Bulgarians took revenge for 1913, and they took it as far as taking down Ovid's statue from the center of Constanța. After the War of Independence between 1877 and 1878, this region was one of the very dear provinces of our King Carol I, thanks to whom Dobrogea and Constanța were greatly modernized. Later, after World War I, South Dobrogea would become the sole refuge of Queen Mary of Romania, who built in Balcic a small but charming castle. But the border in Dobrogea would change in August 1940. Paradoxically, Queen Mary's castle from Balcic remains a symbol of a peaceful Dobrogea and of the good understanding between Bulgaria and Romania. Although it reminds us of the Greater Romania, to their praise, the Bulgarians take good care of this castle and even get money from it, because each year thousands of Romanians go there. The moral of our story is that Dobrogea remains a province too small for the great ambitions that have been consumed here in the last 2 millennia. In addition, until our next meeting, remember that history remains the most beautiful story and the union is built day by day.